Hello, the FBI, politely reminding you not to hoover up bumps of Peruvian marching powder off the hard kick button on the Street Fighter 2 machine can mean but one thing on this channel. We are well and truly on for another Retro Rumble! And by Hitler's brain-splattered bunker Christmas tree, what a rumble we're returning on here, Crusaders. Very special title indeed in the grand lineage of horror gaming. Developed and released by Sega on Friday the 13th September 1996 to the bewildered terror of arcade goers everywhere, young and old alike. This light gun fear factory burst onto the scene when the world was still reeling from the zombie assault of the classic Resident Evil just a few months prior. It can of course be none other than, take it away you scary voiced bastard,
The House of the Dead.
The House of the Dead indeed. And pay attention because it's about to tell you what it wants from you more succinctly than I ever could. Shoot the dead attacking you, not the hostages, no matter how loud the voices in your head sentence themselves. Look at that, he's just twonked you straight in the melon with an axe there. If you let him do that enough times, you'll have to give House of the Dead some more money, so instead, absolutely fucking ruin him with steaming hot lead and shoot outside the screen to reload. There we go, a couple more times, why not? Let his family have to deal with a scavenger hunt before they can hold a funeral. Haven't they earned just a lot of fun in this most difficult of times? Here we, here we go. Oh no! God, I love this game. Die, corpse! Fuck off. Hit that first headshot, you know what I'm saying? Stars we mean to go on here.
Save them.
Yeah, you can't help that guy. Game won't let you. It's a real shame. You know, you go right to the front gate and everything. Run, boys! Run! That is, no shit, the hardest shots in the whole game right there, saving the paradigm. And, one of a number of very important factors in saving these surviving scientists, or hostages, as House of the Dead calls them, is that there are a number of branching paths in the game, a lot of which are decided by whether or not you let them die. I say let them die, most of the time they'll die because you fucked up shooting whatever's trying to kill them or accidentally slung a bullet in their backs yourself. There's a gigantic bat monster. He's made off with your girlfriend there, but at least he's occupied enough not to swing around the front and take a big shit on your car, alright? Keep an eye on the Fragnostic Fragavisual Combobulator down in the bottom right there. Second screen that is, don't worry, I'm not trying to get you to look at my dick or anything. Because I'll be running some of the alternate paths you can take through the game down there for you to enjoy. You can get forced down into the sewers right away there if you don't save the guy that was about to get hurled off the bridge. We're going to be taking a very particular route through the House of the Dead today for no other reason than some paths have way more shambling dead lads to kill than the others, maximising your score and increasing your chances of getting the best of 3 endings available to you, which you'll see. It's not worth it in the slightest, but fuck it. There's points to be had from coins and frogs and other shit hiding in jars as well. You want as many as you can get, really. The requirements for that ending are pretty squeaky. There we go. You need over 60,000 points without using continues, so you'll need to nail as many headshots as you can manage, save pretty much every hostage you come across, and know which path you're supposed to be going down. Ooh, you little bastard. I'm not great at this game. Disclaimer, 4 minutes in. Alright, this isn't me fucking up. You have to let this zombie hit you. There's no other way to link back down to the sewer here. You gotta spend points to make points in this game. There's a whole underrunning economy happening here. It's capitalism gone mad. Here we go. Here's a ton of bugs. It's all points, baby. It's all pennies in the piggy bank. You see a mutant cockroach infestation. I see a down payment on that sweet A-rank ending. It's not actually sweet at all. It will make you piss blood at the idea that you've worked so hard for something so worthless. That guy, it will never fall off that ladder, by the way. You can stand there until they close the arcade down around you. He has got the upper body strength of a fucking gorilla. Now, if you've ever played Sega's Virtua Cop series, you'll already be noticing a lot of similarities in both gameplay and aesthetic here. The House of the Dead is built upon the Virtua Cop fuck me, look at that. Good shooting, fraggers. Fucking Doc Holliday, I ain't. I was aiming for the scenery, shut up. I was aiming for the hills. Goddamn surrounding environment. Is there anything smugger than a hill? I was just bringing it down a peg is all. It's a good thing this game doesn't penalise you for missed shots. You know. What was I saying? House of the Dead, yes, built upon the VirtuCop engine, it is by crikey, with its use of real-time polygon graphics, and most notably, its enemy hit reaction features. VirtuCop had its criminal scum writhing and recoiling from your bullets differently depending on which part of their filthy, lawless bodies you shot them in, which has been massively escalated in the House of the Dead to boast full gore, spewing limb dismemberment and decapitation. The fuck? You didn't give me anything. What? What'd you do? Slap me in the ballsack? Thanks. Take this! Damn man. Did I ask for your help? You think Emily Davison threw herself under a goddamn horse so that you could waltz in here and fight my battles for me? I was winning. I was confusing it by backing away slowly and screaming. Fuck off, dick haver. Women, I tell you, this is no era for a princess rescuing crusader to live through. Look, Sid, here's another one shrieking, help. Do I save her? Do I not? What do you want? Should I hold the door or no? Don't touch it, should sue the hair off your ass crack. And here's the House of the Dead's first boss. He's got no such moral dilemmas on how to treat a lady. If she's in the way, twat her with your bardiche. That'll learn her a lesson. This is Chariot Type 27, a hulking, armour-clad juggernaut that appears to have sustained an unfortunate wound to his chest because surely nobody would be so stupid as to leave the most vulnerable point on the outside of him. You hit him enough times and it enrages him into taking all his clothes off, which is a most unfortunate choice on his part. Does a sexy little dance for you and then drops down dead. Nothing too terrible to contend with there. And poor old Sophie's taking the worst of it. She's
Curian, or else something terrible will happen.
Sophie!
yeah, that'll happen with a clump from a 13.5-foot medieval weapon. But fuck her, here's the results screen. 7 hostages saved, 2 life bonuses gained, 16,720 points in the bank. We're off to a decent start here, Crusaders. And if, like me, you're not very good at House of the Dead, this is one of the most important boons of making sure you don't let the monstrosities of the manor get their hands on these tasty scientists, in that their survival rewards you both in and after the stages with precious lives. There are other hostages spread out over the different branching paths, especially on the first level, so it's impossible to pick them all up on one playthrough, but the route I take generally rewards you with the most usefully grateful ones, even if you do end up coming across some right little madams who give you a grand gift wrap total of dick all for stopping an action and splitting their obnoxious faces in half. We've already seen a pretty enormous variety of enemies here. In fact, not counting some of the more superficial zombie variations, or the bosses, there are a good 20 to 25 monster types you'll run into on a typical playthrough, ranging from carnivorous frogs and maggots to chainsaw-wielding zombies, and there's a new shithead with a hammer. And through here, it's dinner time! Jesus Christ, get off the plate at least, sweetheart. Don't be a total victim. Now as you move through the... Oh, fuck off, will you? That's cheeky. The House of the Dead loves to be an incontestably cheeky cunt with its projectile attacks, especially if they get lobbed at you while you're moving. They'll warp their flight path to fuck with you. Sometimes you'll swear blind that they're throwing those axes at you after they're dead, which... Well, I guess they're already dead technically, aren't they? So, fair play to you. You welcome, man with a drawn-on beard. I won't tell nobody. Those buff zombies love deadlifting those poor fake bearded bastards above their heads and just wandering around with them in a display of primal dominance. They'll lurch about until they find another strongman zombie and engage in a squatting contest or light-hearted game of catch the screaming egghead. I've seen it happen, don't doubt me. I'm an expert gamer. I've seen all the things. Now, if you were unable to comprehend the innumerable layers and avant-garde stylings of the game's introductory cutscene, you might be wondering exactly what's led to us running through a mansion with a floor plan to rival Latvia's while re-slaughtering an army of the undead and their slimy chums. And quite honestly, it doesn't matter in the slightest, but I'll fill you in for funsies. Our featured bad man this week is one Dr. Roy Curian, You'll have seen him briefly dressing nothing like either a doctor or your typical fellow named Roy in the snazzy duster coat and scarf combo with his sunglasses. A research director of the sketchy pharmaceutical company, the DBR Corporation. And, well, Roy's gone mad. No notes on what really sent him that way here, you know. Maybe it was a long, festering issue with his mother. Maybe a combination of factors were pushing the old sanity dam to its breach limits before he walked into work one Tuesday morning. Saw his test tubes hadn't been polished, or somebody had left the staff microwave filthy again, and just snapped. You know, you can't really say. For whatever reason, Roy's brain packed up, and he turned his monstrous experiments loose on his own staff. Now, you're playing as AMS agent Thomas Rogan. If you jumped in on the second player's gun, you'll instead be his partner, G. That's G for great name, presumably, or maybe just the academic grade that Sega get for creativity there. Couldn't tell you what AMS stands for either. That has somehow never once come up in the multitude of sequels to The House of the Dead. Who cares, goddammit? Do you care? I don't care. Your fiancée, Sophie Richards, Thomas Rogan's fiancée, that is. G doesn't get a girlfriend. That's presumably his punishment for letting the dog get hold of his birth certificate. Your fiancée, Sophie Richards, who works as a research assistant at Curion's lab, calls you up going, "Help! Help! Roy's gone potty." And, well, there you have it. I mean potty as in crazy, by the way. I don't mean Sophie's called you up complaining her boss has shit all over his lap. Here's boss number 2. Familiar? Not those two. Scientists all look the same to me. I mean, of course, Hanged Man Type 41, which is a funny name for Man-Bat from DC Comics, you thieves. This fight, it comes to you in 2 phases. Hanged Man's gonna open the show by hovering around in the sky, sending his smaller, less durable chums to try and polish you off in multiples of 2s, 3s, and 4s. He'll drop this plant pretty quickly once you've chipped off around half of his health bar, but if you're really hurting for points, you can just sit here and wait until you've killed every single one of his bat friends. That'll take you through to phase 2 here all the same. Now you'll find he's a hell of a lot more mobile. Right there you see you can land as many shots as you like on him while he's floating around the screen, but when he flies in for that attack dive, you've got to tag him with 3 or 4 shots to spin him out of it. Ah, you flying rat. I should mention, I'm actually at something of a disadvantage here playing in this emulator. For whatever reason, if I shoot too close to the side of the screen, it'll freeze up and dump me out full screen mode, which completely throws the gun calibration out of whack, so whatever accuracy I've gained from using the mouse to aim here, seem to have lost in both this and, more annoyingly, the final boss fight. C'est la vie, huh? That's French for fuck this game, innit? Alright, I guess I lied to you. This fight actually comes in 3 phases. Well, this is more of a slight alteration of the second phase, really, but whatever. The important thing is that you've been kicked off the roof, you're hanging here with one hand, and now you've got to finish Hanged Man off by perforating his skull. See, I can't shoot the bottom of the screen now. I'm crippled. I'm playing with one hand tied behind my back here. I'm already hanging onto the edge of the roof with the other one, so by rights, I'm fucking helpless. Winged slag. There you are, Roy. Get your butler zombies to mop him off the pavement. Back up, you clamber. Just in time to regain your footing for a snappy one-liner.
We won't let you have it your way, Curion.
Ooh, Burger King will be mortified. 6 more science hostages for AMS here. Straight from the frying pan into the fire, eh, my cowardly, learned friends? We're going to the moon! Nearly 36,000 points to our name as well. On track for a famous victory. It's kind of irritating that the only time you can see your score in progress here is in the results screens. Well, that's not strictly true. There's a very strange cheat code you can enter to see your score in the game, but would you believe the first move of it is putting more money into the machine? Ridiculous. Here we are on stage 3, Truth. Now here's some truth for you. It's gleaned from an interview with the series director Takashi Oda. The House of the Dead was originally meant to be a paranormal rail shooter filled with ghosts instead of zombies, which Rings truer to the title of the game, I suppose, because nothing here is really dead, is it? You know, the whole genetic experiment's gone terribly awry, so nobody's actually passed away here in any great volume. Because the thing about ghosts is you can't really shoot them, can you? The bullets pass straight through their apparitional forms. And, you know, I know the whole arcade game model is built on hoovering up as much money as possible out your pockets before begrudgingly allowing you to beat the damn thing, but Sega obviously felt charging their customers a couple of quid a head to watch a ghost slap the shit out of them while they fired a handgun at the wall behind it was, you know, maybe a step too far. So, zombies, or at least zombie-alikes it was. Was this decision spurred by the mighty undead hype train that was Resident Evil, released earlier that year? Hard to say, quite honestly. A lot of these games, you know, had a pretty speedy development cycle back in the day, and it's not inconceivable that any necessary zombie facelifts at the House of the Dead might have needed could be slapped together in a matter of months, especially if it was already running on a pre-existing engine. Coincidence or merely incidents? We can but speculate wildly, Crusaders. We're heading down to some kind of factory floor now, complete with what appears to be a smelting pit of some description, which, well, what any of this has got to do with genetic experimentation is lost on me, let me tell you. Maybe Roy's got a side business knocking up cheap car parts, or steel contract with the government of some obscure Eastern European country, who knows. Maybe he's just fucking crazy. In fact, if you read the manual for the Saturn port of this game, which was 100 times better than the port itself, it's full of some absolutely delightful ravings by the man himself, presented as annotations to the various sections on controls and game modes and what have you. My favourite part is near the back on the character profiles, where he offers full-page tasting reviews on the cast of the game's blood. He recommends serving Thomas Rogans with fava beans, so there's... You know what I say, don't you? Always read the manual. Always. This is important information you're missing out on, folks. Sophie's scored the highest. If you're interested, I'm sure Roy will be most displeased that the Chariot Titan 27 decorated the guest bedroom with 3/4 of it. In other parts of the manual, you'll learn that the director of the AMS was apparently involved in the plot of the H.P. Lovecraft story, The Dunwich Horror. Sophie's weight is highly classified, and there's a double-page spread trying to sell you a Sega Stunner Lycon that canonically makes it the in-game firearm that all the protagonists are using in House of the Dead by virtue of their testimonials. Sophie's review is more concerned with how it coordinates with her outfit than anything else, because she's a woman! Do you get it? Her opinions on combat are worthless. Her vagina disqualifies her from speaking about weapons in any capacity besides their use as fashion accessories. She talks about taking it out with her for a night on the town, which might well indicate that the glass ceiling at her workplace isn't the only thing that's about to crack, but hey, to be fair, the Sega Stunner was a great light gun. Came in neon orange, or blue, as I remember, unless you were buying it in Japan, where it was called the Virtue gun. Came in a more realistic black, thanks to the lack of laws they had over there demanding non-realistic weapon design for those peripherals. It was a damn sight better than the Menacer in any case. What goddamn mess that was. You ever have the Menacer, the Sega Genesis? Fuck me. 6 AAA batteries you needed to shove in that monster. And it worked on 3 games. 3! Terminator 2, the arcade game, Body Count, and the cartridge of shitty minigames that came with the fucking thing. It needed twice as many batteries as there were available games to play with it. We almost got a 4th when Lethal Enforcers came out, but guess what? Didn't fucking work on that, did it? No, gotta go out and buy the Konami Justifier gun for that bastard. What a joke. The first game they announced for it, Monster Hunter, they cancelled. I'm selling its usefulness a little bit short here. If you went out and bought a Mega CD, you could use it for like 6 games on there, which you know, isn't great. At least it's not less than the number of batteries you need to run the piece of shit. I mean, it's not more. You know what? Forget it. Forget it. It's in the past. Here we are, Hermit Type 6803. Boss number 3. of the game. Very simple to take this sucker down. All you got to do is shoot it straight in its slobbery crab chops, and your bullets will actually push it further and further away from you down the tunnel here. The more occult educated among you may have also noticed, up to this point, that all the bosses, Chariot, Hanged Man, Hermit, are named after cards in the traditional tarot deck, a theme that the House of the Dead series would continue right the way through to the present. Second phase of the fight here gets a little trickier, but not by a long way. Hermit will now attempt to spit a bunch of web goo at you, as well as covering its faces with its claws as it advances on you, blocking your shots. The solution to both is just keep shooting at its head. All of its projectiles spread out from the centre of its mouth, so if you're firing fast enough, you'll wipe them all out as they spawn on screen. There we are! And give it another few taps in the skull as it goes down here if you like. For some reason they forgot to turn off the scoring parameters when the bosses die, so any extra hits you land on them as they're writhing around do nothing but help you score. We're less than 4,000 away from our goal now, which we should very easily mop up on the final stage. Chapter 4, The House of the Dead. Only chapter not actually set in any part of the house itself, but sure, whatever. We'll be heading through a limestone cavern here, engaging in like half a boss rush before we reach the final research station. We've got to take on Chariot and Hanged Man again, who really aren't any more difficult than they were the first time around. Who knows why they didn't throw Hermit back in there, but thank goodness they didn't. Fighting him again straight after you've just beat him would have made this section even more redundant than it already is. If you hit Chariot fast enough here, you can blast him through the back wall. I don't know if I'm going to manage it here actually. Oh no, maybe. Yeah, there he goes. Go on, fuck off. Oh no, he's coming back. If you hit him in his weak point as he's jumping down to fight you here, actually stay floating in mid-air trying to wallop you, which is amusing, but sometimes make him just freak out and disappear behind you, bricking the game. So another round with Hanged Man to suffer through here. You know, it's very, very quiet. You can only just barely hear it if you're really listening for it. The Hanged Man shouts "die" at you as he swoops in to hit you here. Very tricky to make out over the booming soundtrack and the constant battery of gunfire. But that "die" sounds absolutely nothing like the rest of his screechy speech pattern, because for God knows what reason, Sega lifted it straight from the jetpack soldiers from Virtua Cop 2. I don't know, maybe it was an artifact from a prototype or a test or something, who knows. Alright, you're about to see one final reason why it's important to save all those hostages we've been scooping up throughout the game here. If you manage to rescue every single one that's appeared on screen from the start of the game to this point, you get to go into this here secret room, which is full of health, coins and frogs, which has the potential to both massively inflate your score and also heal you up for as good a shot as possible at the final boss, and subsequently, that all important, not at all worth it, good ending. Of course, they're not going to just hand you a clear advantage here. You'll have to make it through this minor gauntlet before you get your shot, but quite the treat, all the same. Gotta love those translucent knife-throwing ninjas, don't you? And by love, I mean despise their bullet sponging so fucking much that you want to rage rip the pubic hair out with your free hand. Gotta love how they're completely nude except for foot wraps and wristbands too. It's like inverse Victorian porn there. Man, everything's trying to knock you down with an epileptic fit here, and you got pulsing bolts of electricity coupled with a screen flashing every time you fire your gun. But we've done it. We're here. Final boss time. I'm gonna let you enjoy this little dialogue exchange right here. This is the pinnacle of the marriage between bad writing and bad voice acting.
There's no way out, Kyrian.
I must admit, I really respect your consistency. But you will never, ever defeat me. Say hello to my masterpiece. Who are you? Nobody gives me instructions. I shall destroy everything. What happened? Why don't you follow my my instructions.
There you go, that's where'd it go? Oh, he wants to fight you like 20 feet over this way. Alright, there he is. Say hello to Magician Type 0. Weak spots unknown. Might just be the large pulsing red spots uncovered by armor, who can say. Magician will cycle through 3 attack stages here. First he'll teleport all over the place before pausing to hurl a salvo of fireballs at your head, which as you can see can be quite tricky to stop if you're not very good at the House of the Dead like me. You're not going to get many opportunities to damage Magician in this fight, but you do still need to kind of prioritise those fireballs over shooting him and play the patience game a little bit here. Now he's going to lunge in at you, and this is by far the most dangerous phase of the fight. You got to tag him as he swoops in to cancel that fireball punch, which I'm completely failing to do here, and have 2 more chances not to fuck up completely. Wake up, fraggers. Dick. The leg's probably the biggest area you got to aim for, but he comes in so fast. I mean, you really want to be trying to aim where he's going to be rather than where he actually is. He's still got a chance of landing a lucky shot on his arm, or even his eye. I think you can pop him in, but I've got to say, he's kind of cheating now. He should have entered his much easier 3rd phase. God damn it, stop cheating. Bloody wizards. Right, here we go. We're in the clear now. So, now, Magician stands there like a cretin, unless you get a bunch of free hits in on him while he summons like 12 fireballs and slings them all up in the air instead of straight at you for whatever reason. Take them all out, and that is your last mistake. Birthday Wizard! He does some exploding before he goes. Gotta have some climactic exploding even if it don't make no sense. And there you go. He isn't lying, is he? Them some proper fireworks. Ugly blue polygon artifact and everything. Look at that. Even blew the ominous weather away. Nice blue sky as well there. It's a shame really, we could have really used him to bring some rain to impoverished drought-ridden countries, but you don't think about that, do you? You only think about yourself.
Everything is over. I have nothing more to lose. However, I must go on.
Check out this part. I love this part.
Goodbye, Chariot.
Who's out there?
Farewell, Sophie.
Is there any other room you're walking towards? You're gonna walk right past his body in a minute. Well, there it is. There it was, ladies and gentlemen. The House of the Dead. Iconic, influential. Certainly made one hell of an impact on me the first time I clapped eyes on it. A primary school trip to Wales, let me tell you. We were staying in a village called Saundersfoot, right on the coast. Spent the evening on the beach, wandered down to the arcades, and there, right by the entrance, was this fear beast, with its attract mode blaring the moans of the dead out of its speakers, bloody corpses lurching towards the 50-inch screen. Holy God. Nobody would touch it, and not just us kids. There seemed to be a permanent semicircle of grown men and women staring at the damn thing, keeping a good couple of meters safe distance between themselves and the machine, just in case one of the undead tumbled out of the monitor like the soggy long-haired well bitch from the ring. We'd seen nothing of its like before. Well, here's your ending. Here's everything you sweated and slaved for. Nailing those headshots, saving those hostages. Now, normally, you'll look back over your shoulder towards the house and there'll be nothing there, but after scoring over 60,000 points, after beating the game with no continues, you glance back to see it's Sophie! Sophie's still alive! Oh my God, who cares? Fucking garbage. There is a far better ending where you look back and she's a zombie, which you get by scoring less than 60,000 points, having the number of continues you used end in a 0, so either none or 10 or 20 or what have you. That's considered the bad ending, even though, you know, this is the ending in which you have to spend the rest of your life with this useless maniac that chooses guns based on how well they go over shoes, so whatever.